My first ever stream of the sinking city. I'm gonna try to be pretty casual with it and try to do it every Sunday, but we'll see what happens. Alright, let's do a new game. I'm just gonna be pretty casual about it, so... Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you've requested, I've researched the outbursts of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmount, Massachusetts. It turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont. Don't you summon that stuff in here? As luck would have it, I believe we have stumbled on the source of your ailment and the person who might help you with it. Prepare yourself, then come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I will meet you here to help you on your way. Alright, let's get to the cutscene. Spooky, scary skeletons. Let's see if I remember how to do this. I mean, 1920s, something like that.
Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will. Never trust a tourist advertisement.
This ain't a Lovecraft adventure unless you have a deep gravelly voice and haunted by nightmares.
Now get out.
Ah, alright. Hey Bob, look, it's the King in
At
Yellow.
last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes Vanderberg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me your Highness. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
True, true.
That's an eye-catching suit.
I'll explain
Thank
it
you,
in a
Mr.
second.
A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
Not creepy at all.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Happy Easter, Hawk. A lot of them have to deal with dreams, really. Most of Lovecraft's work.
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature, scion of a robust bloodline, a philanthropist, a scholar, a patron of the famous Oakmont University.
Yeah,
One of
and
great
my
ambitions
favorite deity
and
is in front of
great
us.
ego. Do not make him wait.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
So, Devil's Reef was listed in Lovecraftian work as where Dagon made a deal with humans, and it's where all the fish people come from.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought like moths drawn to a flame.
He's getting
Don't
creepier.
really have much of a market for philosophy these days.
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. Places you'll need to get to the truth. This
The
city
newspaper.
is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
Oh, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about it.
I'll find you.
I'm the kind of man who finds you.
Called it. So, any streets that are blue are flooded. That's why you're gonna need the boats. Ew.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
I just get good feelings about this guy.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers, mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this
It's also
city
not
since
Lovecraft
the
if there's
police burnt
racism.
Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damn city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly.
Also,
They've taken
Innsmouthers.
boats with local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us. The
They bred with
Throgmorton
fish
family.
people, alright?
We
Mermen,
are
pretty much.
pillar in this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Yeah, until you see them.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera, you have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Tane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Already put to work.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed. The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Yeah, that's the sound everybody enjoys.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouth of Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. I was at a starve.
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay. My head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing. Just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me.
That sounds familiar. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay have mercy on his soul.
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or Kay? Did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Choo-choo.
What are you, 5? Dude here is missing his face. I'll observe him in a second.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much.
Well, at least we can have a timeline. I mean, it's a Lovecraft game. Are they really gonna...
Grenna, Nehri, Grenna, Gebheil, Nugulayna.
Sexy.
Five cards short of a full house. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
What's happening?
Yeah. Yeah. This dude is as cool as a cucumber.
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
One. Two.
Take this, ape-face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
So I do love that you got to make deductions based off clues. That can change how the story progresses. Also, if you notice the whole wibbly wobbly stuff, it's because my sanity meter's down.
There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
My head. I still hear those voices.
So, liking the game so far?
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania? Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
We should have never done that. Everything should have remained in that cave. He's here. Yeah, the helmet.
So the fishermen pursued Albert. Even let off a few shots.
Even the tracking mechanic in this is creepy.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
I think in the lore they say that he's
There's something in the pocket.
he's got psychic.
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
Alright, downstairs it is. Yeah, he did serve in the Navy, and I think he has seen this kind of shit before.
The door won't budge.
Oh, everybody like the first jump scare?
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Shit, I forgot it does that. Ew. Alright, I should probably tell dear old dad that his son's dead.
Mr. Throgmorton, I found this in the lifeboat. Looks like it's your son's will.
Give it to me. Oh, my boy, what did you get yourself into? If only I hadn't sent you on that cursed expedition.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something,
What? I don't have all day.
some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I had hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilt for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes. Make him beg for mercy.
Don't know exactly. I have some suspects, but I need to investigate further.
Let's
What
be a little
kind of
nice.
private eye are you?
A thorough one. When I find him, I'll tell you.
Fine. No one leaves the port until then. Find me that dirt bag and I'll help you with anything you need.
Alright.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over, and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Rock. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
Welcome
So,
to the
he's
1920s,
upstairs.
folks.
Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell the perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
Bye.
Such love.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
I mean, besides the fact that you killed a guy.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Want to spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
no, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the she. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
Gotta love the fish people.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
The Marsh bloodline. That was the family that made the deal with the fish people to make the Innsmouthers.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. one might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
I'm gonna be nice.
I won't tell him. Everyone seems to agree there's been an outbreak of madness around these parts. I'm inclined to believe you fell victim to it too. Plus, it seems heartless to tear apart a family after what you've been through already.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Reed. Thank you.
That said, the port's still closed. What will you do?
Hide here, I guess. Don't have a choice. The streets are flooded with police.
I'll make something up to tell Throgmorton. Leave as soon as you can.
Thank you again, sir. I won't forget this.
Alright, first case complete. I'm pretty sure that's the prologue, too. And then you could switch it around to the other one. It says he...
I tracked the murderer down, but he was attacked by those things prowling the back alleys. They tore him apart. It was that Innsmouther fisherman, Lewis. He was covered in your son's blood. That may have attracted the beasts.
Are you certain the body is his?
Beyond any doubt. All that's left of him is a heap of flesh and this scrap of cloth. It's from his jacket. Just ask his friends.
Alas, this was my revenge to exact, not some wild beast's. Something must be done about those pests. Still, justice has been served. This isn't closure, but at least I know now the story. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Kay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but
Video game logic.
Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture, a sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster?
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
Do you think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Is there any chance I could get some bullets?
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throckmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
Hey, he gave me antipsychotics too. Let's go with more experience. Let's see. Asher Road, Hubert Avenue. Anybody else get the feeling something bad's about to happen? I've had dreams like this before.
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers.
My strange powers gained after that ordeal prove it. I found something horrible on that island, something old and dark and slithering, and it still haunts me. Dear Mr. Reed, I understand you are the private eye that caught the murderer in the port. My life is in danger and I cannot trust anyone in this city. Please come to my room, which is just opposite yours. I am in despair. My studies have drawn the attention of vile forces. They stalk me and will take me soon. I have cast my lot and am beyond saving, but the 7 books must be saved at any cost, even if I'm gone. Find my notes there. The knowledge must not be lost, as it could be our kind's last hope for enlightenment. Please be the bearer of this light, for I have failed.
Never again, they say.
Hey, look! They even call it the King's Robes. Guys! Guys! I must unlock it. Plague Doctor, everybody! I'll just go with this. Mr. Reed, you are the rare example of a man who treated one of my kind humanely, and I feel I have to repay the debt to you. Take this as a friendly piece of advice. Run. Save your life and leave this Drock city to the depths. Don't dig into its secrets, for they are not worth it. There's nothing good left here. I believe you can find a way to escape. Please heed my words, Lewis Flynn. That is the most disgusting bathroom I've ever seen since I played Silent Hill. Mr. Reed, it seems that you overexerted yourself while conducting the investigation for Mr. Throgmorton. Forgive me for the audacity, but I have brought you to the Devil's Reef while you were unconscious. Ew. Please take more care of yourself in the future. I won't be there for you every time, Johannes. What does the Yellow King want? I don't think I want to see your bathroom. I've seen some pretty nasty bathrooms, let me tell you.
Makes this place feel more like home. I miss Boston already.
Totally breaking in and stealing everybody's shit. Alright, so books, right? Building the church was his redemption. Day after day he worked without payment, carrying stones and putting them in the moist soil of Salvation Harbor. At night, when he returned to his house behind the church, he could not sleep. The book his ancestors brought across the ocean cold. When the church was built, the priest found him hanged on the bell's ropes. But the book is still waiting for someone to come and read it. His house is in central Salvation Harbor, Mill Church Road, between Seven Oaks Street and Windheim Street. Still has a bed frame and no one wants to live there even after the flood. A local legend may be more than mere superstition. A dozen witches were hanged on a huge apple tree that still grows near the cider mill. Among these documents is a confession. One of the witches said the devil himself granted them a book with words of power. The book hides itself from mortal eyes, waiting for the witches to be reborn and return to claim it. The witch who wrote this confession lived in eastern Reed Heights, somewhere north of the intersection of Communion Road and Museum Avenue. Okay. The fishermen talk of a place near the Blackwood Manor on the southern part of Whisper Street. Their meetings occur in the dead of night. The locals don't like this part of eastern Grimhaven Bay because they seem to fear those who gather near the half-built ships. They say a certain book is read at these meetings, a cursed tome that makes people so crave the sea's touch that they go and drown in the ocean. So I should say that I actually want to collect all these books. They are just men, the Yellow King's gang. They can't get here now. Now there's only me and these nightmares a little longer and I'll figure them out. I just want to collect these books, alright? They sound awesome. Oh, missed one. I had a dream so real it still makes my hand shake. A huge Ferris wheel rose amidst the city. People got on and rode it higher and higher before jumping off at its peak. As the pile of corpses grew bigger, the crowd pushed me to the wheel. And then I saw a man with a leather bag. He was standing in the center of the wheel and reading from a book. His awful dirge was making the wheel rotate and dragging the crowd to their slaughter. I'm sorry, this just sounds really awesome. I want these books. Let's see. They're hinted to be based off actual Lovecraftian mythos, but it could just be the whole Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, you know, or just Lovecraftian fiction itself. So what's really cool is you'll get the whole thing and you gotta find it yourself on the map. Yeah, so you go to the section, you gotta find it in the street. Let's see, the ruins near the radio tower and central cover side on the crossing of Landing Avenue. Ah, there it is. Old Church Road between Seven Oaks Street and Windheim Street. On the southern end of Whisper Street. Guess about there. Alright. Got those all mapped out. Oh.
The door won't budge.
Oh, Ooh, I got scared there for a second. I thought it was about to crash. Let's see what's upstairs. So the lighthouse is out. Several ships have gotten lost at sea, and some are now decorating the city's beaches. That's one thing. But now there's a pricing fellow in the city port hiring salvagers to recover ships. He's turning a tiny profit from selling them. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look into it. Bob, you should be happy. I'm feeling all inspired to write.
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you though, mister, you want to stay on here, you stop making all that noise.
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, alright?
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't really remember what happened, but I'll do my best.
Yeah? Well, next time it happens, you end up sleeping under the bridge like the other newcomers.
You're not exactly friendly with your guests. Are we the ones keeping you in business?
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish.
Oh, God. Can't help you if I hear you're peddling your cheap, affordable living again. Alright, what do you think? You want to keep it? Wanna have it as a pet? True. Locals use signs to mark special places, kind of like secret signs. You know, this probably sounds like common sense, but I don't think you should eat Lovecraftian monsters. Who knows what the flesh will do to you? Yeah. It'll help you write, alright. Yay! Hawk, you're back! Hawk, you're... What the fuck is that? Why do I want to shoot it? No, get out of my boat! I'm leaving. Hey, in my last D&D game, I introduced Lovecraftian liquor. If you passed your wisdom save, you didn't see some really creepy shit. Of course, I also said that it was created with the tears of an elder god.
You look tense, honey. You need to let loose.
Did I just get propositioned? Moving on. I mean, you're right, yes. Oh my god, Hawk. Hey look, alcohol is your first aid kit. I don't like the rats in this place. They freak me out. Human babies are scary. Guess these are the ruins. What is it? On the crossing of Landing Avenue. Ooh, can I climb up? Oh, that's disappointing. I just want to climb the rusty ladder, alright? The ruins near the radio tower. Well, I think I'm in the right area. What, you want to do it today? Or? I just don't have the video camera, but I mean, I can go for... I guess we could go for Easter. Alright. Alright guys, Easter plans have started. I gotta go. Too bad I couldn't find more monsters and shoot more stuff, but... Gotta go spend time with the great aunts. Sorry, it's Easter and, you know, one's got dementia and... Gotta spend time with family. I will be back. I will be back next Sunday to play this. Yeah, yeah. Alright, goodbye everybody.